Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with the second topic today in the breakfast show. And today we are discussing also that various major international news websites have highlighted several of Egypt's most prominent touristic sites and encouraged the readers to across the globe to visit Egypt and to spend the summer in. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Dr. Yehia Abdel Qader, Tourism Counselor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Mal.
Well, Dr. Abdel Qader, a number of international websites have praised Egypt and invited people around the globe to visit Egypt, and especially England's The Sun newspaper have hailed Egypt and described it as a wonderful spot to spend the summer in. How do you see the importance of this? One of the important newspapers, international newspapers, is praising Egypt, inviting the readers to visit Egypt.
Well, really, this is excellent news because the Sun Daily is one of the leading, circulations in the UK. And temporarily, they invite and they recommend to their audiences and viewers that to spend their summer vacations in Egypt because it's an excellent location due to the reputation of its beach resorts of Qader, Sharm el-Sheikh, Marsa Alam, where they can perform aquatic diving, parasailing, and in the afternoon they can enjoy the safari trails as well. So it's an excellent news for Egyptian, British travelers and for Egyptian tourism as well.
Yes. So the newspaper described also some or mentioned some of the sites that should be visited in Egypt, like the Giza pyramids, the Sphinx, and the temples of Luxor and Karnak. And it described the sites in Egypt as that Egypt encompasses most famous ancient wonders of the world.
Yes, definitely, because British and UK travelers to Egypt, they have a whole long history over 200 years, being involved with, in the archaeological sites, from the discoveries in the British Museum, in the Cairo Museum, a long time ago, cooperating together. So the next, their adventure, and summer vacation was visiting, of course, Cairo, Luxor and Aswan, and enjoying all the archaeological relics of Egypt.
Yes. Also, how can we, Doctor, how can we take benefit of this that the major international websites and newspapers are inviting its readers and people around the globe to visit Egypt? How can we make use of this in marketing and in order to boost tourism in Egypt?
Well, the Ministry of Tourism is having, a solid strategy to promote Egypt through digital and online promotion, advertising, publicity, and booking as well. So, we have the regional offices in Europe that's, in charge of promoting Egyptian destinations worldwide and offering them packages, tours, affordable packages to Upper Egypt and, beaches and resorts as well. So this is an all-inclusive plan managed and operated by the Ministry of Tourism and Technology in Egypt.
Yes. Also, Dr. Abdel Qader, can you tell us about the importance of the different types of tourism here in Egypt? I mean, this diversity of aspects of tourism in Egypt between the historical, archaeological, Coptic Islamic monuments, as well as coastal tourism and also safari and several kinds of tourism.
Well, actually, the whole world was celebrating yesterday the World Heritage Day,
yes,
worldwide, and Egypt joined the celebration. And we had, celebrations and festivals at the Grand Egyptian Museum in Giza, and as well the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, he visited the Saqqara necropolis and a variety of archaeological sites. So we are part of this, whole global, interest and conservation of world heritage. as well as the Council for Urban Affairs. Like 2 days ago, they were celebrating the Cairo photography panorama, and there was a display of Cairo, pictures that ranging from 1881 up to 1954. This is really an era of 75 years that, classifies and depicts Egypt, as the Mamluk era, and then the Ottomans, then the modern, then the contemporary. So it was so colorful and so rich and inspiring as well.
Yes, Dr. Abdel Qader, could you name some of the significant or the important sites, touristic sites in Egypt? Let's start, for example, by Cairo first, then we can say about Luxor, Aswan, but let's start with Cairo first.
Well, just like in combination with the Daily Sun News, like in the UK, there was other locations in the US, the Urban Matter side and the Business Wire as well. And they were recommending, to their audiences and followers and travelers that they spend, like an exotic trip to Egypt, and they marvel about, its antiquities in the Giza Plateau and in the Cairo Museum and the Al-Fustat Museum for Civilization, and going up the Nile, through a cruise to Luxor and Aswan, Valley of the King, and Karnak Temple. So Cairo is very rich with its stories, stands that extend over 1,000 years. But world travelers are advised as well to go through other destinations in Egypt, whether, like beaches in the Red Sea or Alamein in the Mediterranean, or up the Nile to Luxor, Aswan, and everything.
Yes, also Dr. Abdel Qader, the beach tourism in Hurghada, in Sharm el-Sheikh, the safari, there are several snorkeling, there are several activities that tourists would love very much to make in these areas like the Hurghada or the Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yes, definitely, yes. And we need, a direct flight, from charter flights and scheduled flights as well, because 95% of travelers to Egypt, which ranges to 12 to 15 million visitors per year, we arrive by air. That's why now we have direct flights to Sphinx Airport, like in the Giza Necropolis. And we have direct flights as well to our temples from 16 planned destinations. We have direct flights to Taba and to Marsa Alam, and this will enrich, our travel abundance and popularity as an international destination.
Yes, Dr. Abdel Qader, it's the newspaper that have hailed Egypt as a wonderful spot for spending the vacation, as it encompasses a large number, of course, of monuments, is an English one, the Sun newspaper. And actually in England, it happened that recently Egypt have been exhibiting or showing some of the monuments before it comes back to Egypt and stay forever in the Grand Egyptian Museum. So the importance of showing or exhibiting some of the monuments, touring around the world and in exhibitions abroad, the importance of this in attracting tourism in Egypt.
Well, this is really ultimately beneficial, for both destinations, because remember, 3 weeks ago it was the opening of the Grand Ramesses II Expo and Golden Pharaohs in Paris. And you were viewers, they were lining up. There was 170,000 tickets were sold to the audience who would like to visit this exotic exhibit, which is going to be extending around 5 months. And then it will be traveling to Australia. So really, having Egyptian exhibits and artifacts outside Egypt is so beneficial, because we expose, our culture, our heritage, our archaeological marvels to the whole world, so they get stimulated and excited to visit the homeland where everything started. That's, ancient, Thebes, Karnak, Valley of the King, Cairo, Alexandria, and all the tourist and historical facts in Egypt.
Yes, I thank very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Yehia Abdel Qader, Tourism Counselor. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Thank you. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.